For 2,000 years, it floated in silence. The ancient ship was not like anything the galaxy had seen. It had no engines, no visible weapons, no markings. It just drifted, glowing faintly near the edge of a dying star. No one knew where it came from. No one knew how old it was. They called it many names: the Silent One, the Vault of Stars, the Key That Won't Turn. The Galactic Council sent scientists, priests, engineers, and even AI gods to unlock it. All failed. Every species tried, and every one of them gave up. But the ship remained, waiting years later. A small human research ship named Orion Reach was passing through that part of space. Oh! The crew had only 6 people, 3 scientists, 2 engineers, and a young girl named Elia, daughter of the ship's captain. They weren't there to find the ancient ship. They were studying old stardust for Earth's science programs. But fate had a different plan. One night, while the crew was sleeping, the ship's alarms beeped. Captain Wren woke up and looked at the screen. A strange signal was calling them. A soft musical tone, repeating like a heartbeat. It was coming from the Silent One. They had found the ancient ship. "Are you sure?" asked Dr. Milo, the ship's top scientist. "Yes," said Wren. "It's real. It's ... right outside." The crew looked out the main window, and there it was, massive, dark, and silent. The ancient ship floated like a mountain in space. Its surface was smooth, like glass. No lights, no doors. Just black metal, cold and still. But then something changed. As soon as the human ship came close, the Ancient One lit up. A thin golden line appeared across its side. Lights pulsed across its surface. The heartbeat sound grew louder. The ship was waking up. "Did we do that?" whispered Ilya. I think it's reacting to us," said Dr. Milo. "But how? No one has ever made it do anything before." Captain Wren gave the order: "Keep distance. Do not dock. We don't know what it is or what it wants." But it was too late. Without warning, a beam of light came from the ancient ship and scanned Orion Reach. It didn't damage anything. It just ... looked. Then, like a door unlocking, a small piece of the ship opened. A single message appeared on every screen, in every language. "Earth has arrived. Begin sequence." Shock filled the ship. "How does it know about Earth?" "One of the engineers? No other species ever got that message," said Milo. "Not in 2,000 years." Captain Wren's face was serious. "Whatever this thing is, it's been waiting for us." Back on Earth, the signal from the ship caused panic. The Galactic Council was alerted. Dozens of alien species sent warnings. The message from the ship spread fast across the galaxy. The human ship activated the Silent One. The ship chose Earth. Prepare for conflict. The council called an emergency meeting. Many leaders believed Earth had triggered something dangerous. Some called it a weapon. Others said it was a test. Few even believed it was alive. But no one could deny the truth. The ship had never reacted to anyone until now. Inside Orion Reach, Ilya walked near the window again. She stared at the glowing lines on the ancient ship. "It doesn't feel scary to me," she said softly. "It feels ... lonely." Captain Wren looked at her. "What do you mean? I hear music." "A lullaby in my dreams," Ilya said. "I think ... it's calling us." Dr. Milo checked her brain scans. Something was strange. Her brain waves were in sync with the ship's signal. "She's connected to it," he said. "But how?" No one had the answer. Later that night, Ilya had a dream in the dream. She stood in a giant room made of stars. The walls were covered in glowing symbols she didn't understand. In the middle was the ship open, alive, and speaking. It said, "We waited. The others tried to take it. You are the ones who build. That is why we chose Earth." Ilya woke up with a start. Her hand was glowing faintly with the same golden light from the ship. The mystery had only begun. The ship had waited for thousands of years. Now it had opened, but not for the Council. Not for the Empire. Not for the warriors. It opened. The galaxy was watching. The ancient ship had opened, and the galaxy could not believe it. Messages filled the stars. Angry voices from alien worlds echoed through space. "Why Earth?" they asked. "Why now?" After thousands of years, it had chosen the youngest, weakest species in the Council humans. But deep inside the ship Orion reached, something even stranger was happening. Ilia could not sleep since the ship opened. Her dreams were filled with strange lights and soft whispers. She saw places she had never visited, planets made of crystal, stars shaped like spirals, cities that floated in space. Every night the same voice spoke to her. It wasn't in English, but she could somehow understand. "You were made to understand. Only your kind can listen." When she woke up, her hands tingled. Her drawings were different now. She used symbols she had never learned. At first, the crew thought it was just a dream. But then Dr. Milo compared the drawings. They matched the symbols on the ancient ship's walls. "This is not a coincidence," Milo told Captain Wren. "She is not guessing. She is remembering." "Or where?" Wren asked. "I don't know," Milo said. "Maybe from the ship itself." They began running tests. Ilia's brainwaves changed whenever the ship sent out a signal. No one else on the crew reacted that way, not even close. It was as if the ship had locked onto her. Like a key finding the right door, she started hearing the voice when she was awake. It spoke in soft pulses, almost like music, but she didn't feel afraid. She felt calm, like someone was gently showing her a secret. Meanwhile, the Council was losing control. Alien warships were sent to surround the human vessel. Some species feared the ship was now a weapon. The humans received one final message: leave the site or surrender the ship. You have 48 hours. Captain Wren refused. "We will not run," she told Earth Command. "Is bigger than politics, bigger than power. Something old has woken up, and it chose us." Earth sent back one message: stand your ground. On the second night, Ilia walked to the viewing window alone. She stared at the glowing lines of the ship. "Why me?" she whispered. The answer came not in words, but in feeling. Her head filled with memories that weren't hers, past billions of years ago. The first builders of the ship were not aliens, but starborn beings made of light and sound. They created the ship to protect something. But what? And then darkness, a great silence. The ship was left alone. It waited, and now it had finally found someone who could hear it again. Ilia turned to the others and said, "The ship is alive. It has a mind. It remembers everything." "How do you know that?" Dr. Milo asked. "I didn't learn it," she said. "Gave it to me." The crew stared at her. "She's not just linked," Milo whispered. "Yes. She's becoming part of it." Suddenly, the lights on the ancient ship changed. A large doorway slowly opened on its side. A soft mist came out. A golden bridge connected the human ship to it like an invitation. Ilia stepped forward. "No." Captain Wren stopped her. "It's too dangerous." But Ilia looked calm. "It won't hurt me. I need to see what's inside." Before anyone could argue, she stepped onto the bridge. As she walked inside, the walls of the ship lit up. It looked like a giant cathedral made of stars. Symbols floated in the air. Lights moved like rivers across the ceiling. Ilia reached out and touched one of the floating symbols, and instantly she saw visions, planets burning, armies falling, a shadow swallowing galaxies, and in every vision, one word was repeated: Earth will decide. Back on the human ship, alarms beeped. "Something is changing inside," said one of the engineers. "The ship is sinking with her." Captain Wren clenched her fists. "What does it want from us?" "Doctor." Milo replied slowly, "Maybe it doesn't want anything. Maybe it's warning us." When Ilia returned, her eyes were wide. "I saw everything," she said. "The galaxy is in danger. It's the thing that destroyed the builders. It's coming back." "What is it?" Wren asked. "I don't know," Ilia said softly. Ship called it the Ender of Stars, and it said, "Only Earth can stop it." The crew stood in silence. For the first time, they realized what the ancient ship truly was. Not a weapon, not a treasure, It was a messenger, and it had found the only one who could understand, a little human girl in the dark. The ship's light pulsed again like a heartbeat. The voice returned. One last time that night, you listened. Now, you must decide. The ancient ship was no longer silent. It had opened its doors. It had spoken. It had chosen a human child. Across the galaxy, leaders watched in fear and confusion. The most powerful species had failed to unlock the ship for thousands of years. But now, a single human girl, Lelia, was speaking with it, and it was answering back. Inside the ship, Ilya walked through glowing corridors. The walls showed moving lights like stars flowing in rivers. The air was warm and quiet, like a dream. Ilya felt like she had been there before, but she hadn't, at least, not in this life. The rest of the human crew waited on Orion Reach, Captain. Ren watched the ship nervously. She's been inside too long, she said. Dr. Milo was calm. It's okay. She's not in danger. The ship is protecting her, guiding her. But why her? Asked Ren. Milo looked at the glowing lines on their ship's console. Because she's the key. Inside the ship, Ilya touched a large round panel on the wall. It lit up like a sun. The room changed. Suddenly, she was standing in a different place, a giant chamber, filled with floating symbols and images. The ship was showing her its memories. She saw a planet with silver oceans and cities in the sky. Creatures of light moved across the stars, were peaceful, wise, and ancient. They were the builders. They created the ship to guard something important, something hidden, a weapon, secret. She wasn't sure, but she felt its power in her. Bones, then came darkness. A shadow fell across the stars. Ilya saw galaxies breaking apart, whole civilizations erased. One word echoed through her mind. The Ender. It wasn't a species. It wasn't a machine. It was something else. Something alive, and it was coming back. The ship's voice spoke softly in her head. We fell. But the seed was planted. Earth grew from that seed. You are our last echo, our last hope. Ilya's hands trembled. She saw Earth from above, blue and bright. But beneath it, she saw lines of light. Something hidden deep inside the planet. What are those? She asked. The ship replied. Memories locked. You hold the code. Suddenly, the symbols in the room began to spin. The ship showed her a warning council fleets gathering. Alien warships were coming. They were afraid of what the ship might be. They wanted to take control. They were willing to destroy it. And the humans, back on Orion Reach, alarms flashed. Incoming ships, said the engineer. 3 council warships. They're not answering our signals. Are their weapons hot? Ren asked. Not yet. They're close. Ren turned to Milo. We may not have much time. At that moment, Ilya returned, but something was different. Her eyes glowed faintly. Her steps were calm. She looked older, wiser. Like she had seen 1,000 years in a single hour. She sat down in front of the crew and said softly, I know what the ship is now. They all leaned in. It's not just a ship. It's a memory bank, a map, a warning. The builders made it. After their last war, they knew they were going to lose. So they locked everything inside this ship. Locked? Asked Dr. Milo. Yes, said Ilya. And the key wasn't a tool. It was a person, someone with builder code in their blood. She looked at her own hand. It's me. It's Captain Ren. Was stunned? You mean Earth is connected to them? The builders? Yes, Ilya said. Long ago they sent out DNA, seeds of life. Earth was one of those seeds. She looked at the captain. Humans aren't just new. We're very old. Or what's left of the first light. The crew was silent. Then Milo whispered, That's why no one else could open the ship. They weren't part of the design. Ilya nodded. The builders weren't trying to keep the ship locked. They were waiting for someone who could remember. Suddenly, the ship's light pulsed red. The warships had arrived. A message came through. You have 10 minutes to disconnect and leave the object. If not, we will fire. Captain Rin looked at her crew. We can't win a fight. Looked at Ilya. Can the ship protect us? Ilya closed her eyes. The ship spoke to her again. Command is open. Choose. She opened her eyes and said one word, shield. The entire ancient ship lit up. Golden energy surrounded both the human ship and the ancient one. When the Council warships fired, their blasts vanished. Nothing got through. Ilya stood calmly. She wasn't just talking to the ship anymore. She was part of it now. And deep inside the ancient memory chamber, a hidden door opened. Something powerful was waking up. Not a weapon. Something older. Something that remembered why. Earth was born. The golden shield held strong. No matter how many times the Council warships fired, their blasts disappeared against the ancient ship's light. Inside Orion Reach, the crew stared in disbelief. No one spoke. Even the stars outside seemed to wait in silence. Ilya stood still, eyes glowing faintly. The ship had listened to her command, and now it was protecting them. Captain Wren finally found her voice. Ilya, are you controlling the ship? Ilya said calmly, it's not about control. It's about trust. The ship trusts me. Dr. Milo whispered. The ship sees her as one of its own. But outside, the Council ships didn't stop. They sent a message, cold, direct, and final. Stand down and surrender the vessel. You are in possession of forbidden builder technology. You have 1 hour. This is your last warning. Captain. Wren frowned. Forbidden? We didn't steal it. The ship chose us. Double quotes. Dr. Milo looked worried. They don't care. They're afraid. They attack. A Council ambassador ship arrived shortly after it sent us secure. Transmission to Orion Reach. On screen appeared an alien leader with silver skin and red eyes. High Consul Dreven of the Zalari Empire. He stared at the human crew with no emotion. You have no right to this artifact, Dreven said. That ship is a danger to the galaxy. It must be studied and controlled by the Council.
Captain.
Wren responded. No one controlled it for 2,000 years. Now it speaks, and it chose a human. You don't get to take that away. Dreven's eyes narrowed. This is your last chance. Refuse, and Earth will face consequences. Leah stepped forward. You don't understand the ship, she said. You never did. You only wanted to open it and use it. But it was never a weapon. It was a memory, a message, and a test. A test. Dreven repeated. Ilya nodded. Yes, to see who still remembers how to listen. Not command, not control. Just listen. Dreven ended the call. The message was clear. They were going to attack, inside the ancient ship. The golden shield began to flicker. The ship had used much energy. It needed time to recharge. And time was running out. Captain Wren turned to Ilya. What do we do? Ilya closed her eyes. The ship responded with warmth, and images filled her mind. A hidden place, beneath Earth's surface. A locked chamber, sleeping. The ship is guiding us home, she said. There's something on Earth, something buried. It holds the rest. Of the Builder Code. Dr. Milo's voice trembled. You mean Earth isn't just a seed? It's part of the machine. Leah nodded. Yes, and if we wake it up, we might understand the full truth, but we have to get there fast. Captain Wren ordered the ship to prepare for emergency flight, but Orion Reach was not fast. Earth was far. Now the Council fleets would follow them. Unless Ilya walked back into the ancient ship. Help us, she whispered. Take us home. The ship answered. A circle of light opened on the floor. It pulsed with power. The ship was activating something deep inside itself, something not seen in thousands of years. A travel core. A star-jump engine far beyond human or Council technology. Captain. Wren and her crew boarded the ancient ship quickly. They had no time left. The shields fell. The Council saw the opening, fired one last shot. Too late, the ancient ship vanished in a flash of golden light. They didn't just jump through space, they tore through it. In a single moment, the ship appeared near Earth's orbit. The jump was perfect, smooth, silent. They were home, but something else happened. The moment the ancient ship arrived, Earth responded. Lines of blue light spread across the planet, visible from orbit. Deep underground machines woke up. Symbols glowed from the oceans, from the deserts, from the old mountains. The builder's memory was inside Earth itself, and now it was awake, on the Council homeworld. Panic began. Earth wasn't just a new race. Earth was something older than anyone, guessed something forgotten, and the ship had brought the truth back to life. Inside the ancient ship, Ilya stood at the center of a giant chamber, a glowing sphere. Floated before her, it pulsed with her heartbeat. The ship spoke again. You have passed the first test, but more is coming. The Ender has heard our signal. It is waking. The crew stood in silence. Dr. Milo spoke at last. This is bigger than anything we've ever known. We thought we were new to the galaxy, but maybe we're its last defense. Ilya nodded. The others will try to stop us. But this isn't just about Earth anymore. She placed her hand on the glowing sphere. The war hasn't started yet. She looked at the stars outside the window, but it will. The ancient ship floated above Earth. Its golden lights pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. From orbit, the crew watched as strange glowing lines appeared across the planet's surface, lines no one had ever seen before. They stretched through deserts, oceans, forests, and even under the cities. Earth was answering the ship. Something deep inside the planet had woken up. Ilya stood at the center of the builder ship. The glowing sphere floated in front of her, now brighter than ever. When she touched it, she felt a new energy. She saw Earth inside, not outside. Deep underground, far below the crust, there was a giant structure. It was made of metal, stone, and light. It was sleeping, but alive. It was called the core of memory, and it had waited millions of years for someone to find it. Dr. Milo looked at the scans and shook his head. How did we never see this before? The core is bigger than any city. It's been right under our feet, Captain Wren replied, because it was hidden, and Earth was told to forget. Ilya turned to them. Now it remembers. What it's calling me. Meanwhile, the council was in chaos. Reports came in from across the galaxy. Other builder structures had begun to activate only after Earth's signal. Some council worlds were shaking. Others showed light patterns matching Earth's core. But one message was the same in every place. The Ender is near. Back on Earth? World leaders were afraid. What if the ship is a trick? Some asked. What if Ilya is being controlled? Others said. But the signs were too clear. Earth was not just a planet. It was part of something older. And Ilya was the key. A landing. Pod dropped from the ancient ship. It carried Ilya, Captain Wren, and Dr. Milo. Their goal reached the core of memory beneath Earth's surface. The entrance was hidden inside a cave in South America. As a massive stone door waited in the dark. Ilya walked to it without fear. As she touched it, the symbols lit up. The door opened. Inside, the walls were covered in glowing lines. The air was warm but not hot. A soft humming sound echoed through the tunnels. They walked for over an hour, deeper and deeper into the earth. Then, finally, they saw it. A huge chamber. Floating above the ground was a sphere miles wide, made of crystal and silver metal. It rotated slowly, surrounded by rings of light. This was the core of memory. It was alive. Ilya stepped forward. The lights changed. The core spoke to her not in words, but in feeling. She knew what it wanted to show her memories. She saw the first builders arriving on Earth when it was still young. They planted the core. They placed knowledge inside it. Maps, technology, warnings. Then they left. Because something was chasing them, Dr. Milo stood beside her. What are you seeing? They came here to hide, Ilya said. But also to save something. They couldn't stop the Ender, so they built a message for the future. Inside us. Captain? Wren stepped closer. Inside us. Ilya nodded. Human DNA. It's not just evolution. It's a design, a key. Suddenly, the ground shook. Outside, council ships had followed their trail. 3 destroyers now hovered in the sky. His troops were preparing to land. The council no longer wanted to talk. They wanted to take the core by force. Back in the chamber, the core pulsed harder. The sphere of light above it dimmed, then shone even brighter. Ilya placed her hands on a small panel in front of her. The panel scanned her touch. Then, something unlocked. All over the earth, ancient machines rose from the ground. In the oceans, giant towers lifted from the deep. In the mountains, satellites launched into orbit. On every continent, light shot into the sky. The whole planet was waking up, not for war, but for defense. One council ship fired a warning blast toward the core chamber, but it never landed. A wall of energy rose from the earth, blocking the attack. The ship's systems failed. Inside the core, Ilya heard the voice of the builders. The last world stands. If the memory is kept, hope is not lost. Captain Wren looked around. The earth is changing. It's not just a home. It's a fortress. Dr. Milo smiled weakly, and they never saw it coming. Ilya turned to them. The Ender is not just coming, it has already begun to move. What do we do? Captain Wren asked. Ilya looked up. We prepare. In the stars. Something ancient stirred. Something that destroyed galaxies without sound. It had seen the light of Earth. And now, it was coming far beyond the edge of the known galaxy. Something opened its eyes. Not eyes like a creature. Not eyes like a machine. But something in between dark. It's endless and hungry. It had no name in any living language. But the builders had called it one thing. The Ender. And now, it had felt the signal from Earth. The last light had returned. It was time to erase it. On Earth, strange things began to happen. Storms appeared with no warning. Animals behaved strangely. Satellites picked up strange signals from deep. Space cold. Sharp pulses like a heartbeat from the void. Captain Wren stood at Earth's Defense Command Center. Dozens of world leaders were on screen. Everyone was scared, but no one wanted to say it aloud. Dr. Milo finally did. It's moving. The Ender is real, and it's coming here. Ilya stood at the core of memory, deep beneath the earth. Her eyes were distant, focused on something no one else could see. The Ender heard the builder's message, she said softly. Now it knows we are alive. Captain Wren asked, can we stop it? Ilya shook her head. We can't stop it, not yet, but the ship can guide us. There's still more it hasn't shown. They returned to the ancient ship in orbit. Soon as Ilya stepped inside, the ship reacted. Lights flared. New corridors opened. The ship had more secrets to share. At its center was a new chamber round. Dark, silent. When Ilya stepped in, stars lit up on the walls. A map of the galaxy appeared. One small red mark glowed far away, moving slowly toward Earth. That's it, Milo whispered. Hey, the Ender. Then something strange happened. More red marks appeared. Not ships, not fleets, but dead stars' places. The Ender had already destroyed. Dozens. Hundreds. All silent. All gone. Ilya touched the map. A doorway opened behind her. The ship showed her one final builder message. Left for the last living race. It was a hologram of a builder, tall and glowing, with a soft voice that echoed inside their minds. If you are seeing this, then we have failed, it said. The Ender cannot be killed. Not by force. Not by machines, Captain Wren asked. Then what can stop it? The builder's message continued. The only way to stop the Ender is to awaken the heart. Ilya turned to the others. The heart isn't on Earth. Where is it? Milo asked. Ilya pointed at the map. It's on a hidden planet. It's a builder world that doesn't appear on any council maps. The last builder sanctuary. They called it Valterra. Wren stared at the blinking star far across the galaxy. That's deep in council space. We'll never get permission to go there. Ilya's voice was calm. Then we won't ask. His ship began to power up. Ancient systems hummed to life. Was ready to jump again. But outside Earth's orbit, the council had arrived. 15 warships, all aimed at the ancient vessel. They sent a final message. You will not leave. No render. The artifact, or we will destroy you and Earth both. Captain Wren clenched her fists. They're afraid. They think we're bringing danger. They're wrong, Ilya said. The danger is already coming, and if we don't reach Valterra, no one will survive it. Dr. Milo looked at the ship's console. We only have one shot. The council fires while we're jumping. Ilya stepped to the center platform. We won't give them time. She closed her eyes and gave the command. Jump. The ancient ship vanished just as the council fired. Beams of energy passed through. Empty space. The ship had escaped. Across the galaxy, in the deep void between systems, the ship reappeared alone. Floating in the dark near Valterra, it was a quiet world, green, peaceful, untouched, for thousands of years, but deep beneath its surface, something powerful was hidden. The heart Ilya looked down at the planet. This is where it ends, she said. Or where it begins again, Captain Wren asked quietly. What exactly is the heart? Ilya didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, It's not a weapon. It's something even stronger. Dr. Milo blinked. Stronger than a weapon. Ilya nodded. It's a memory of the first time the Ender was stopped. In the far, dark reaches of space, something moved. The Ender. Faster now. Its shape could not be seen. It was like a shadow on the stars, and behind it, the stars themselves began to die, one by one, back on Valterra. The ancient ship slowly descended. The final message of the builders had brought humanity to this place, to a memory older than time, to a choice that would decide the future of every living thing. Ilya stepped toward the glowing path leading into the heart of the planet. She turned to her crew and said, Stay strong. What comes next? No one has ever faced and survived. The ancient ship landed on Valterra. The planet was calm. Green trees covered the hills. Strange birds flew through the sky. Rivers of glowing water flowed like blue veins across the land, but something felt heavy, like the planet was holding its breath. Ilya stepped off the ship first. The ground under her feet was warm. The air smelled old like rain on stone. She turned toward a mountain ahead. A giant doorway was carved into its side. Symbols glowed above it. She could read them now. Heart of the Builders. Memory of the End. Captain Wren and Dr. Milo followed closely behind. Is this it? Wren asked. Ilya nodded. Yes, the final. Peace. The last secret. They entered the doorway. Inside, the path led downward through smooth tunnels. The walls shimmered like glass. Lights followed their steps, lighting the way. No one spoke. Then they reached it. A giant chamber in the center floated a crystal sphere, 10 times larger than the one under Earth. It pulsed gently like it was alive. The heart of the builders. Ilya stepped forward. This is what they left for us. Suddenly, the chamber lit up. A figure appeared in the air, another builder hologram, taller than the last. Its voice echoed through the room. Welcome, child of Earth. You carry the final code, the last seed of the builder mind. Dr. Milo gasped. The code was in Ilya all along. Ilya's hand shook. It was never about unlocking the ship. It was about awakening what was hidden inside me. The builder continued. The Ender cannot be destroyed. It feeds on fear, war, destruction. It grows stronger with every death. But it can be silenced by a signal older than it. Captain Wren asked. A signal? What kind of signal? Room shook. The hologram flickered. Ilya's face went pale. I know now, she said. The signal isn't made of sound or machines. It's made of memory, unity, life, the builders called it. The echo of harmony. Suddenly the ground rumbled again, harder this time. An alarm echoed through the chamber. Outside in space, the sky turned black. The Ender had arrived. It didn't come in a ship. It was the ship. A mass of darkness, stars swallowed inside it. The council ships around the planet fired everything they had. Lasers, bombs, weapons. Of every kind. Nothing worked. The Ender moved without sound, and as it moved, council ships vanished, one by one. Inside the heart chamber, Ilya dropped to her knees. The crystal sphere glowed red. It's too close. Milo shouted. It's killing everything. Ilya placed both hands on the sphere. It doesn't want to kill, she whispered. It only knows how to erase, till nothing is left. It's a wound, not a monster. Captain Wren stepped forward. Then how do we heal it? Leah closed her eyes. I need to let it see. Not just me. All of us. She reached into her memory, and the heart responded. Images flashed through the chamber. Earth, laughter, birth, music, sacrifice. A mother holding her child. A soldier saving a stranger. A human hand reaching out to help, all of it. Not power, not war, but connection. The heart pulsed hard. Then it shouted, not with sound, but with light. A beam of pure white energy shot into the sky. It hit the ender, directly. The darkness stopped for the first time in billions of years. The ender hesitated. It saw everything, not fear, not weapons, but love, loss, hope. It had never felt that before. The ender screamed and cracked. The stars lit up again, the darkness pulled back, and the ender vanished. Silence fell across the galaxy. Not a death, not a war, but peace. Brought by memory. Back inside the chamber, Ilya collapsed into Captain Wren's arms. Her body was weak, but her eyes were full of light. Dr. Milo stood stunned. You showed it who we are. Ilya nodded slowly, and it saw something it never expected. Captain Wren smiled. What's that? Ilya looked up. That we're worth saving? All over the galaxy, the builder's signals turned off, the machines powered down. Not because the mission had failed. Because it was finished. Humanity had passed the final test. Not through war, but through heart, through memory, through unity. But as the ancient ship powered down for the first time, it sent one last message into the stars. A whisper. We are still. Here, and we remember. The ender was gone. Silence returned to the galaxy. Not the cold silence of fear, but a warm, peaceful silence. For the first time in millions of years, the stars were safe. On Velterra, Ilya slowly opened her eyes. Light. The heart of the builders had dimmed now. Its work was complete. It floated quietly like it was resting. Captain Wren helped her stand. You did it, she said. Ilya shook her head gently. We did it. The old builder ship hovered above the planet, now quiet and calm. The strange glowing lights inside had faded to soft white. It had no more secrets. But it had a new purpose. It belonged to Earth now, not as a weapon, but as a guide. Back on Earth, the skies were clear. The glowing patterns across the planet slowly faded, leaving behind new forests, healed oceans, and clean air. The Earth itself had changed. The core of memory returned to sleep. But not alone. It was now connected to Velterra, to the ship. And to every soul who had seen the truth, across the galaxy, Council worlds stood still. Their leaders had no answers. Their warships were useless now, and in their silence, they heard one simple truth. The galaxy had been saved by humans. The species they once ignored. The ones they had doubted. Dr. Milo stood at the edge of a high cliff on Velterra, looking at the stars. So much was lost, he said softly. But so much was found, Ilya replied beside him. He looked at her. What now? Ilya smiled. Now, we build. Captain Wren stood on the bridge of the ancient ship. Her hand rested on the console. It lit up softly, welcoming her. Behind her, a team of humans, young, old, scientists. Artists walked through the halls, not as warriors, but as explorers. The galaxy had seen enough of war. Now, it was time to explore, to heal, to connect years. Past, new cities were built on Velterra, not made of metal and glass, but of stone and light, just like the builders once used. Human-esque council races, and even old enemies now lived side by side. Ilya became known as the Star Listener, Captain. Wren as the first explorer, and Earth. Earth became the heart world, the center of peace, memory, learning. The ancient ship was renamed. No longer the ship that wouldn't open. It was now called Unity. And it carried a message across every system it visited. We remember. What came before? We protect what we love. We reach for the stars. Together. One night, Elia stood alone on the balcony of her tower. The sky above Valterra was full of stars. But now, she didn't just see stars. She saw paths, connections, homes, and in her heart. She felt something deep and strong. The builders were gone, but their dream lived on. Not in machines, not in weapons, but in people. In unity. In hope. In the distance. A new signal appeared on the ship's sensors, not from the Ender, not from the builders, but from somewhere else. New, unknown. Elia smiled. Captain Wren stood beside her and asked, "Should we answer?" Elia nodded. With a new message, she said, "A message that says, we are Earth. We are not perfect. But we have learned. We have survived. And we come in peace." The ship Unity rose once more. Its engines glowed not with fire, but with light. The light of every memory, every life, every hope. And as it left Valterra, it carried more than just humans. It carried the future. A new age had begun. Not of conquest, but of connection. A new light across the stars.